different now. We the talk around town. Alex threw the ball to Smokey for a touchdown. It's fourth down and you don't really want no more. We've been winning from the door. You should check the scoreboard. Check the scoreboard.
Welcome back to another episode of the Scoreboard. We have all the Week 8 NFL predictions, all the picks, and some betting advice if you happen to be a man of the money at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. We're making the easiest $10 in existence, so as every week, obviously, stay tuned for that. Getting into the predictions first, Smokey, how are you doing today?
Man, I'm good. I'm better than Patriots fans right now, I'll tell you that.
Oh, listen, Patriots fans have not been doing bad for a long time. I don't think we need to feel very sorry for them.
It's about time, obviously.
Yeah, I know you really don't like them. Struggles, big struggles.
Yeah.
You can tell that people are missing on this defensive unit that was dominant for so many years, decades now. The key pieces, Dante Hightower and Patrick Chung, just being sorely missed. They're not finding their coordination there on that defense, and the offense is what the offense has always been. It's okay, but it's not going to be a 12-4 offense. So Cam Newton also needs to play better, obviously, but I'm not going to complain too much.
Cam Newton is bipolar, man, because you saw him in that Week 2 game against the Seahawks. He was on fire in that game. Yeah. I mean, even though they lost the game, I mean, he was playing magnificent, but now it looks like he just lost it. Like he's lost all confidence, you know? It's not it's not Cam Newton-esque, you know?
That's true, yeah. We'll see if he's able to bounce back. Maybe there's something going on with the shoulder again. We don't know. They're saying he's fine, but we will see what happens. But we're going to get into, first of all, we have Thursday night. Right away, kicking it off, very important divisional game. Your Falcons at the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, I don't know. The 2-game bump didn't quite work out. I mean, it actually would have if Todd Gurley wouldn't have scored. That's such a Falcons thing to do, though. The only thing that could possibly give the game away in the last few minutes happened, like always. And the Panthers, the Panthers are down also. I guess this is kind of a tank bowl at this point. Everybody can run on the Panthers. I'm going to say Todd Gurley gets a lot in this game. And that might be the focus of the offense, because actually it doesn't seem like it, but the Panthers are actually really good at defending the pass. So, but as long as Julio's there, the offense is going to be kicking. The Panthers are what they are. Man, it's tough. It's tough, but I'm going to go with the Falcons on the road.
All right, before I give my prediction, actually, can we quickly get a recap of last week and how was the overall standings looking? Because we haven't done that yet.
No, we cannot get a recap of that. I don't want to talk about it. No.
Why you want to talk about it?
You got 12 correct out of 14, and okay. I got 16 out of 14, like I told you I was going to do. Now let's move on.
Exactly. How many do you got?
I got 9. So
you got that 9. Actually, so all 3.
That actually puts you. No, not all 3. That I did get 1 right. I picked.
Okay.
The Cards, where you pick the Seahawks.
Oh, right. Okay, that's fair.
That puts you 1 ahead of me at this point. So, 68.5 to 69.5.
I appreciate it. I got Washington. I got Pittsburgh right. Told you I was gonna get you, and we are in a close race again, and I am not opposed to that at all. I'm a fan of that. Now, as for this game, It is a tough one to pick, certainly. I will note that I believe so far, except for one single game, I've picked the Falcons every game this year, which has just been a huge point sink. You know what? I'm going to continue to do it as well. I'll take Atlanta. I want to say for the past game and the way that they lost it, look at it this way, right? If he doesn't score, they miss the field goal, then he'll come in complaining about that way, right? So really, no matter how it goes, it probably goes wrong. So, well, it was a tough way to lose it. You're not supposed to give that up on defense anyway, no matter what happens, really. But That's the way it goes. I will take Atlanta. I think they're the more talented roster. Christian McCaffrey is about to come back for Carolina, which is going to be a boost. But I think they'll get some revenge here because they lost their first game, and they'll go 1-1. Pittsburgh at Baltimore.
Man, this should be maybe the game of the weekend right here. This is division rivals at that. I mean, the Steelers are on fire, man. I mean, it was a really close one to the Titans like we expected, and the Titans almost pulled it out, but then the Steelers pulled it out. I think those two teams are almost exactly even. The Ravens coming off a bye and being at home, I think, should have the advantage here. They've had 2 weeks to prepare, and the Steelers are coming off a battle against the Titans. So the Steelers, I mean, once again, they're going to see, a run-first team, a power run team, and an extremely mobile quarterback here. And the Steelers have a really great run defense. But the Steelers are off to one of the best starts that they've done in, 40 years or whatever the record is. I don't remember exactly. Since the 70s, I think it was. So this is tough, man. This is a really good game. I'm going to go with the Ravens because of the bye week and because they're at home.
I'm going to make the same exact argument, but use it for a different point. I will take the Steelers to win this because they are currently in the flow. They did not have a bye week. The Ravens did. They might be rusty. Lamar Jackson tends to struggle in these situations sometimes, and the Steelers defense does exactly do well stopping everything that Baltimore wants to do. I think this is a bit of a mismatch even. I think the Pittsburgh offense is just too versatile at this point for Baltimore to consistently stop, and I got the Steelers to keep going and stay undefeated here. Rams at Dolphins.
Oh, man, I really want to see this game. I want to see how Tua performs because I think that Tua is going to be phenomenal. And so far this season, we've seen both the other rookies come out and perform phenomenally. Man, I was really hoping that Tua would start against Justin Herbert, but it didn't work out that way. I don't think that Tua's just going to come in there and then they start dominating. I don't really think this is a Patrick Mahomes situation because of the team around him. Now, Patrick Mahomes walked into a phenomenal offense, whereas the Dolphins, yes, they can be great at times and they can crap the bed at any given moment. They're not the caliber that the Chiefs were. But I do think Tua will eventually be, maybe not better than Patrick Mahomes, but he'll eventually cement himself to being on that elite level. But as for right now, I think the Rams are riding high right now. They're doing well, and they're going to keep rolling. And having Tua's first start, I'm going to pick the Rams on the road.
It's tough to pick this one. You kind of want for Tua to have his best possible debut, and yes, I do agree. I have very, very high hopes for him. I think he will end up being a top 5 quarterback in the league. First game, Ryan Fitzpatrick has oftentimes been the majority of the reason if the Dolphins win great games or play at their highest possible level. It's been because of Ryan Fitzpatrick, and I don't think that Tua is going to come out and right away be the best quarterback in the league first game. I just don't think it's realistic. I will pick the Rams, though I think it'll be a close one, and I wouldn't be surprised. If you have an instinct here, go for the Dolphins, maybe put some money on the Dolphins. There is definitely some upset potential. I will take the Rams because they are more consistent as a team, but this is an incredibly tough pick. Next one, we have the Jets at the Chiefs, and I'll give you an additional question here. Guess the spread.
Oh man, I was gonna start it off with a good one and say, man, this is a tough game here, but the spread, is it 21?
It is 20.
20. Oh man,
20 points. Close. That is very.
I knew
close,
it had to be like right at 3 scores because
it
there's
is
no
monumental.
Way. Yeah, exactly. And the Chiefs are coming off a dominant win. The Jets are coming off yet another loss, although they put up more of a fight than I ever thought I would have seen. out of this team. I mean, well, there's nothing else to talk about. The Chiefs are going to win this one. They're at home also, so add 3 points to that. They win by 23.
Yeah, I can only agree with that. Chiefs win. Please trade Sam Darnold to a competent team and send Adam Gase somewhere else. That's all I can say. Vikings at Packers.
Yep, this is another one where one team is trending up and the other team is trending down, and division rivals makes this maybe a little closer than it was going to be. Aaron Rodgers got back on track in this game. He looked as good as he ever has. It is what it is. The Vikings are going to continue losing. The Packers are going to continue winning here.
Totally agree. Aaron Rodgers has had one down game, and notably, all of the MVP candidates that we talked about a couple weeks ago have had down games since. Josh Allen, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, all, like, after we mentioned their names, they all lost. And they all lost the game, and they will recover, obviously, but starting here with Aaron Rodgers, they're going to beat the Vikings. He's known for beating everyone in his division all the time. Minnesota doesn't have the quality players to stop him, and Green Bay takes it in a pretty clean fashion. Colts at Lions.
Well, the Lions are coming off of a win that they probably shouldn't have won, to tell you the truth. I mean, Falcons just give up wins like that all season, and for the past 3 seasons. The Colts are coming off a bye. I mean, I know you like to say that apparently you can be rusty after a bye, but I like to think that when a team goes on bye, they spend 2 weeks focusing on their next matchup. And Phillip Rivers should be able to get in a groove here and start throwing downfield more, maybe hit some T.Y. Hilton. And the Lions, man, this is tough because that Colts defense is really good, but maybe the Lions have found a rhythm. I don't know. I'm going to go with the Colts, though.
I will also go with the Colts. I will agree. The bye week argument, you can really design it whatever way fits you. That's why I like it so much. You can make it whatever really fits the point you're trying to make, right? They're either rusty or they're more prepared. It's always, you're never wrong saying that. But in this case, I'm going to say they will be more prepared. I think they just have better quality roster. And yeah, the Lions should not have even won the game against Atlanta. They won one very impressive one against Arizona that no one expected. But that's about the upset we've seen. And the Colts roster is a roster that is made for winning now, with additions like Phillip Rivers, DeForest Buckner, and just the type of draft talent that they also had. So I'll take the Colts here. They're a better roster. They're trying to make a push, and they have to keep winning to stay in that picture. Raiders at Browns.
This is actually a really tough game. I mean, I get that, the Dolphins and Rams are tough, the Steelers and Ravens are tough, but this is actually also tough. I mean, the Raiders are frauds, right? And
that is correct.
I think you think that the Browns are frauds, but they are my post-hype sleepers of the season. Dude, I'm looking at the Browns to continue winning here, especially at home. And I think Odell Beckham being out actually helps this offense, because Baker plays better without Odell Beckham. Because I guess, he's not feeling the need to force it to the superstar. You got little Odell there and Jarvis, but I think the Browns win here, and I think Baker plays pretty well.
I will, beyond any expectation, or I know you will be surprised, but I will pick the Raiders to win this game.
Oh, wow.
And the Raiders are frauds. There is no doubt that at the end of the season, when all is said and done, they will be an 8-8 team, as they were always meant to be. Browns are in that same ballpark. I think the Odell injury does hurt the Browns quite a bit, especially in terms of their potential at the high end. they had some really great performances, and whenever Odell really went off, they typically won that game when he just dominated and took over. I think it's going to hurt him a little bit. I think this is one of the ones where the Raiders just win again, and people start believing. You kind of said it's the hype team versus the post-hype team. I'm going to go with the hype team in this one. They're going to win this one, then they're going to lose another one. They'll be 8-8 at the end, and everything's perfect because they are frauds. But the Raiders to take it over the Cleveland Browns. Titans at Bengals.
Well, the Bengals offense is flying high right now. It seems like Joe Burrow is hitting all three of those receivers at any time he wants to. Like, it's amazing. I wasn't sure if he could transfer what he was doing at LSU to the NFL, considering the cornerbacks and the safeties that exist in the NFL compared to the SEC. But he's doing it, and to everyone's surprise, he's doing it in his first season. But the Titans are a power run team that seems almost unstoppable. I mean, they almost beat the undefeated Steelers. They've beaten everybody else that has been put in their path. You know, they almost made it to the Super Bowl last year. This team is boring but great. So the Bengals, you know, I expect them to try here, but the Titans defense is really good. I could see this being close, but I think the Titans ultimately pull it out.
Titans are going to win this, I think, easily. I mentioned just how Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Josh Allen all struggled when we kind of gave them the front-runner MVP candidate tag for those three guys. How about Ryan Tannehill? If you look at Ryan Tannehill's last 16 games, or his first 16 games as a Titans starter, across 2 seasons, including playoffs, the numbers look just like the career average would for Aaron Rodgers. I've seen it put next to each other. It is incredible. If those 16 games, like over 2 seasons, were played in one season, that was one season, he would win MVP. He would win MVP 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
Unless you got like a 2019 Patrick Mahomes or a 2018 Patrick Mahomes in that situation. But Ryan Tannehill is making his case, and the Titans are making his case. We said Cinderella story when they went all the way to the AFC Championship game. We said that is this big upset, the big surprise. They don't really belong there. They belong there. Now they've lost a close one to Pittsburgh, which could be an AFC Championship game or an AFC playoff game come January. And the Bengals, they're not the type of class team. They traded Carlos Dunlap away. They are not in win-now mode. He goes to the Seahawks, and they acquire some offensive linemen, which makes a lot of sense. Given you want to build for the future, you want to build around Joe Burrow. This is Tennessee's game to win, absolutely. So I will take the Titans, and I would be surprised if we saw anything else. Curious to hear your opinion on this one. Patriots at Bills.
Man, this is the game I thought I wanted to see. But both of these teams offensively have taken a step down. And, you know, man, I wanted to believe. I mean, actually, the trend lined up. This lined up for Josh Allen to be what he was actually becoming. But I guess the only element that you can't factor into trends and cycles is a mental element if the guy is just going to hold up under the pressure. Now, I'm not saying it's over. It's not over by a long shot because he still passed for 300 yards in that last game. So he's going to have to pick it up, though. He's not winning the MVP playing like this, like he has in the past 3 games. You know, and at first, you know, I'm blaming it on the receivers because he's still throwing dimes down the field. I mean, a few of them are a little off. But every you know, no one's perfect. He's got to step it up here. He has to get back on track. And he has to play like Cam Newton played in 2015. And I think he should do that here. The Patriots are on a downward spiral right now. They're spiraling out of control at the moment. I'm going to take the Bills to win this at home.
I think last week was the worst game that I've seen the Patriots play in the 21st century. Again, the way that they lost it at home, that hasn't happened in a long time. This defense is distraught. It is not prepared for anything. Thoroughly missing the cornerstones off that defense, Dante Hightower, Patrick Chung, among others. And I think Buffalo is straight up the better football team. I think Buffalo is going to win this. I think you mentioned Josh Allen. Yeah, he's in a slump. The whole team is in a slump because I think this team is really what we've seen the first 4 weeks. I think they are one of the best teams, not just an above average. I think Buffalo is legit, and I think they'll get back to that level. The last 3 weeks with the exception, not the first 4 weeks. So I believe in Buffalo still. MVP, we'll see. He's definitely got some ground to pick up on, especially Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson. Maybe Ryan Tannehill, depending on how you want to look at that. But it's not over. I agree with that too. So Buffalo in this one over New England and breaking the curse, if you want to say it like that.
Yeah.
Chargers at Broncos.
Talk about post-hype sleepers. A lot of people were on the Broncos this year. You know, there was all that talk in the offseason about these guys are going to try to out-chief the Chiefs. And take over that division. We got the fastest receivers now. We have a dynamic passing quarterback now. We're going to do it. We got tight ends that can play on the level of Travis Kelce. But it hasn't come together, obviously, And I'm going to take these guys as my post-hype sleeper next season, though, because I think they do put it together at one point. But it's not right now. And like I said earlier, Herbert is playing phenomenal. Just like I assumed that Tua was going to do, and just like Burrow is doing. So this one should be an easy win for the Chargers. I know that even though these rookies are playing so well, they're not having a lot of success in the W column. But this one should get the Chargers easily in the W column.
It is a positive note to say that, the rookies are playing well. They're not winning, but they are not the reason that they're not winning. And as a matter of fact, I think Justin Burrow and Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert are both, or so far have been, the best players on their respective offenses for the time that they've started the season, which is incredibly impressive. Now, the teams are limited. We know that to a degree. I think the Chargers are going to take this as well. I will remind you that you picked, before the season, the under on 4 wins for the LA Chargers, and you put a monster on it as well. So I'm hoping that numbers will finally go up the board getting into the second half of the season, and I'm going to win that. I have faith in Justin Herbert, and I think this is going to be one of them. They're going to win at Denver. Niners at Seahawks.
Wow. Another tough division rival right here, man. The Niners looked dominant. They looked like they did last season. They look like they may be finally back to where they were last season. The Seahawks blew a close one. Man, that was a game right there. That was an awesome game. And, the Russell Wilson versus the new Russell Wilson. And man, that was a great game. But they lost, They finally picked up a loss here. And the 49ers are back in the W column. So this is really tough. I'm going to give this to the Seahawks just for the home field advantage. But I wouldn't be surprised if, you guys actually put one on them. Because it's a divisional game. And who knows what's going to happen here. But I think you guys may split 1-1 at home this season.
I wouldn't be surprised if it split 1-1 again. I wouldn't mind if the Niners went into Seattle and won. I'll tell you that. This division is incredible. I mean, the NFC West is insane. You have teams that are 4-3, 4-2 that are last in that division. Yeah. And all of these 4 teams are legitimately playoff caliber, which I don't think I've ever witnessed that being the case. Even in the NFC West, where around the 2013, 2014, maybe 2015 even, that's a bit late. The 2013, 2014 days, all of those teams were somewhat legit. I guess I think it was either the Rams or the Cardinals who didn't really quite live up with the rest of the pack. But this season, it looks. I didn't think the Niners would stick up. Honestly, after 3 weeks, the type of injuries that we've seen, I didn't think they'd hold up. But they go beat the Rams. They go beat up on the Patriots. Who knows what happens? They're getting potentially K1 Williams back, Tevin Coleman. But here's the thing. The secondary is still hurt. And one to exploit that is going to be Russell Wilson. Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf. Those are mismatches for those cornerbacks in right now. Jason Verrett, Emmanuel Mosley, as good as they are, or as underrated as they are, I don't think they're going to hold up one-on-one with those guys. And you have two second-string safeties playing with Tart and Ward both out, which against the Patriots wasn't a problem because no one could throw the ball deeper than 10 yards. Or at least they didn't even really try to. But that's going to look very different because that Seattle offense is fast down the field. So I will give that advantage to Seattle. I think it's going to come down to them just hitting one too many deep balls. One too many 56, 60-yard touchdowns down the field. That's going to make the difference. Wouldn't be surprised if it was a very close one, though. Saints at Bears.
Oh, man. I tried to tell everyone that the Bears are not legit. I tried to tell you. And you asked me right before the Monday night game that what would it take to actually believe in the Bears? Would it be beating the Rams? And I said maybe, but beat them by more than one score. Beat them decisively. Actually blow somebody out. But no, the Rams came and beat the brakes off of them. The Saints here. The Saints are trying to get back online. I don't know what's going on with Michael Thomas, and it kind of bothers me being a fantasy player that Michael Thomas may be on the outs with the team. You know, this may be a AB situation. I don't know. I'm not trying to put anything on him here, but it may be an Antonio Brown situation. Somebody might be disgruntled. The Saints and the Bears, man. This being in Chicago, I want to give a slight advantage to the Bears because the Saints are not what the Saints were the past 4 seasons. But I think the Saints are still going to get it together, even with their hurt receivers. I think Alvin Kamara goes and beats the Bears.
Kamara is definitely the man to do it there. He's the best player of that offense for sure.
Yes.
And I don't know what's up with Michael Thomas. Drew Brees is not looking like Drew Brees has. He's looking okay, which is fine if the team around him can hold up. This might be a bit impulsive. This might be a pick just to stick it to you. But I'm gonna take the Bears. I will take Chicago. Yeah. I'm playing devil's advocate. It might hurt me. Might cost me a point. I will take Chicago to win. They were for one day the number 1 seed in the NFC. The Saints were not that the entire season. So advantage Chicago in my book, and the Bears are gonna take it at home. The most spectacularly unspectacular late game on Sunday night. We have the Cowboys at the Eagles.
Wow, the NFC least. Jesus, man. Well, I'll tell you this. The Eagles are ahead of that division because they suck the least. The Cowboys, man. The Cowboys look like what the football team was supposed to look like. They look like what the Jaguars were supposed to look like. What people thought the Dolphins would look like. They look like the Jets. That's what they look like. That's exactly, without Dak Prescott, that's what this team reminds me of. The Jets. They are worthless on offense, and now they are worthless on defense. And that O-line is not what the O-line used to be when Tony Romo was there. I'm going with the Eagles. They should easily roll over the Cowboys at this point. I think the Cowboys don't win another game unless Andy Dalton, comes back and pulls something out in 1 or 2 games. But that may not even happen. I'm taking the Eagles.
Cowboys are activating Cooper Rush, I think, to the active roster. They are digging deep. For sure. And they are in tank mode. They are releasing Don Terry Poe. They are trying to trade people away. The Cowboys are tanking. They have pretty much given up the season with Dak out. Now Andy Dalton who was serviceable, not to the same level, but serviceable. And they weren't good before that. This is legitimately a bad team. This entire division is horrible. The Eagles have Carson Wentz, which is head and shoulders above what anyone else in this division has at the moment. They're going to win this one. I think this is the time for them to kind of pull away with the division, at least go like 7-9 or something, which will easily be enough to win the division, obviously, which is crazy. And then get demolished in the first playoff game. I'll take Philadelphia to win it. And then Monday night, we have the showdown in New York with the Bucks and Giants.
The Tom Brady's old nemesis. He's come back to beat the crap out of them and make them pay, you know, and against the new Eli up there, you know, he's I don't know, man. The Bucs are legit. They have the best run defense. They're right up there with the Steelers. I guess you could really debate with either the Steelers or the Bucs whose run defense is better. The Giants are what the Giants are. They're not very good, and we're going to see some picks in this game. We're going to see no run game from the Giants, and we're going to see the Bucs do whatever they want to do in this game. Yeah, and this game should have a 20-point spread. If you ask me, I mean, the Bucs are on fire right now. The Bucs are probably the favorite to win the NFC at this point. I'm definitely taking the Bucs on the road.
No, I don't know about favorite to win the NFC. I probably wouldn't give them that just yet, but they are looking very good. And yeah, we've talked so much about the offense in the offseason, all the weapons, adding Gronk to that stacked wide receiver room. But it's been the defense, like you mentioned, the run defense. These guys are stingy. They are suffocating people. Daniel Jones is the only person who can even run on the Giants roster right now, which is a problem. Now, he did clock in at a top speed, matching Tyreek Hill and Raheem Mostert. He stumbled over his own feet, but he was the fastest guy on the field, which revealed a lot of things at the same time in that play, weirdly enough.
He was running too fast for his own body like that.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah, his head was too fast for his feet to catch up. It really, that's what it really looked like. It was incredible. He's going to have to be. He's going to have to be the world beater if they are going to have any shot against the Buccaneers. I don't buy it one bit. I think Tampa keeps on winning. I think, you know, with Saquon Barkley out was kind of the death sentence for the Giants there, because you don't have a run game as is, and these guys, whatever you have, these guys will stop. So Jones will be forced to throw early and often to receivers that are going to be outmatched by the Buccaneers secondary. It's going to be probably a pretty ugly blowout on Monday night. So I will also agree with you, and I will take the Buccaneers.
Unfortunately.
You want to see a tighter game?
Yeah, well, come on, man. Tom Brady, we're going to win another Super Bowl or something.
He's not going to win it. They're not. Okay, do you want to put the bet out? Are you betting on the Bucs now to win the Super Bowl?
No, I don't want to put that evil on anyone.
I will take the bet.
Man, if he plays like he did against the Raiders, if that team plays like they did against the Raiders, there's not a lot. I mean, I know you're big on the NFC West, man, but I don't know, man. I think if the Bucs play like they did there, they could beat all three, all four. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's tough. Like that.
I'll definitely take the bet.
Really, who else in the NFC can stop them besides someone from the NFC West? Is there
How about
another
Aaron Rodgers? How about Aaron Rodgers?
We already saw that matchup. Yeah, maybe the second time, but they blew.
Maybe Aaron Rodgers on a different team.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers playing for, the
Rams.
Yeah, or the Saints. I mean,
yeah, something like that. There's a chance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens. I don't buy the Bucs Super Bowl hype yet, but something that impresses me is that solid defense that we did not expect. That's the backbone of the team, and that typically is a very promising brick to build on. Speaking of bets, though, we're not going to make this one, but we are making 2 bets. Once again, to make the easiest $10 off our lives for the 8th week in a row, and probably the 5th week in a row that we broke even, because we always tend to win one and lose one, but not this week. This week we are winning both, and that is guaranteed. We have the Raiders at plus 2.5 against the Browns. This is a classic collapse game, and the Raiders are going to win this by more than a field goal, probably more than a touchdown. They are frauds. They have to still have these games where they perform, they vastly overperform, they beat people up, and they blow out people. That's how frauds operate. That's how people buy into frauds, and then they go 8-8. But they're going to beat the Browns by more than 2.5, so that's an easy pick. $5 on that. Colts minus 2.5. Yeah, they're better than minus 2.5 and the Lions. I mean, this Colts team is a playoff team. This Lions team is not. I think we'll see structural coaching changes with the Lions. They're starting to assemble a roster, and if they want to get any sort of actual benefit out of the years that Matthew Stafford has left, they will make a coaching change and a culture change come the off season and build over the next few years. This Colts team is stacked to win now, and they are going to also beat the Lions by more than 2.5 points easily. But the Raiders one is definitely the biggest one. I don't understand how Cleveland could ever be favored in this game. I don't see it, but I will definitely take it and make some easy profit. 100% guaranteed. Put them in the bag. Don't sue me if we lose. That's my two picks. My two bets or betting advice for this week. Smokey, do you have anything to add regarding Week 8?
No, I think that's it for this week.
What can we be looking forward to with the hurry-up offense, though?
Oh, man, this week's topic is going to be hit them in their weak spot, and I will be explaining that on the show.
I'm curious to hear what that is. That doesn't give me any room for interpretation there regarding fantasy football. I'm going to make sure to stay tuned for that. That's coming up, by the way, is tomorrow or maybe even later today if we can get it done on this channel. If you don't want to miss that, go ahead and subscribe. And thank you, everybody, for watching. Let us know your picks. Let us know where we're right, where we're wrong, preferably exactly where we're right in the comments. Drop us a like. Subscribe to Beyond Football to stay up to date with all the predictions and fantasy football tips from a true professional. So that's coming up. And yeah, if that's all done, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Deuces.